Okay, so the chapter actually opens up with us getting some inner monologue from Iharu, where we end up finding out that apparently in the last chapter, he was actually kind of happy when Reno failed to bond with Kaiju number 6, which is bringing up some plot lines that I thought we actually had put to bed already between these two characters, because, early on when the two of them first started interacting on the 3rd division, we could tell that Iharu definitely had some major inferiority complexes when it came to comparing himself to Reno, because of how fast Reno was actually growing in comparison to the rest of the newbies. And because of that, when the two of them actually came face to face with Kaiju number 9 and he offered to turn them into Kaijus, I initially thought that that Iharu would actually end up taking up the opportunity because of his inferiority complex and wanting to get more power than Reno. But since he turned it down and we saw the two of them actually become pretty good friends, I thought we'd actually had put to bed this whole plot line of Iharu being jealous of Reno. But apparently that's still an ongoing thing that we might have to deal with this next arc. Anyway, then we cut over to the 4th division on a mission to neutralize a giant mole-like kaiju, and we end up finding out that apparently the month that Ogata gave Reno in the last chapter had already passed, and he has successfully managed to train up enough to actively use the entire Kaiju number 6 suit, which kind of disappointed me when I saw that in this chapter because, like I mentioned in my last review, I was hoping that we would see Reno build up to the full suit. Like starting off, he'd only be able to use the gauntlets, and then slowly as the series goes on, he would actually slowly build up more and more of the suit until he has a full suit near the end of the series. That way we can actually have him slowly progressing and getting power-ups as the series goes on. Now, even though he's managed to bond with the full suit, we do know that the Kaiju number weapons have a huge strain on the human body and actually shorten their user's lifespan. So because of that, Ogata gave Reno the time limit of 10 minutes. That's the only time he can actually use the suit in active combat, which we're actually going to see him use it for the first time in live combat in this chapter. He's been training up with it this entire time in between the chapters, and now he's actually using it for the first time in the actual mission. So 10 minutes, that's all Reno has to lead his squad, because apparently he's been given his own squad to leave in the 4th division, which actually has Iharu on it, but he has 10 minutes to lead the squad in neutralizing all the kaijus, including the giant mole kaiju, and proving to Ogata that he can actually handle using Kaiju number 6's suit. And you can definitely tell how desperate he is to prove it, because as soon as their mission starts, he just goes at full speed straight towards the giant kaiju, leaving the rest of the squad behind. Iharu tries his best to keep up with him, but he's not doing that great of a job, but he's definitely doing a better job than the rest of their squad because they both lead him all behind. Now, while the two of them are actually rushing over to the giant kaiju, they actually end up running into some smaller kaiju, and when Reno goes to fight them, he actually momentarily loses control of the suit, so Iharu has to step in and save him. Then, when Iharu actually gets caught off guard by another kaiju, we actually see Reno gain control of his suit again and actually use his ice abilities to stick himself onto a tree so that he can get a great angle at shooting the kaiju and destroys it with pretty much just one shot. And that's basically how Reno fights throughout the rest of the chapter, basically just taking out all these small kaiju around him with one shot, pretty much showing the huge power difference between him and Iharu, which is definitely just helping to boost Iharu's, already massive inferiority complex to Reno, which really has me wondering exactly how we're going to see this plotline continue going forward. Like, are we going to see as Reno gets stronger and stronger as the series goes on, Iharu getting more and more jealous of him until he does something extremely stupid, like trying to take on a kaiju that he can't take on by himself just to prove that he can, or possibly, which I would prefer, and actually I think might end up happening because of the fact that Kaiju number 9 wants to bring out a new era kaiju, we might see him make the offer to Iharu again later on, and Iharu actually takes it this time. Which I really think would actually be a pretty interesting plotline for Iharu, basically seeing him become the antagonist to Reno because of his jealousy towards him. And then eventually, maybe at some point, he gains control over his kaiju side and actually becomes a member of the team again, just like how Kafka is, where he actually has control over his kaiju powers. But anyway guys, that's pretty much it for the chapter. That's pretty much all that happens in it. I'm actually looking forward to the next chapter to see what happens when Reno goes face to face with this giant mole-like kaiju and seeing exactly how well he's able to use the suit in the actual serious fight. But that's it for the chapter, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. That's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.